listeners, Harika here, and I'm super excited to welcome you to UppTalk. If you're ready to learn and get your hands work wonders in the world of information technology, then you're in the right place. When I say UppTalk, we are not just another edtech company. Consider we are your learning partner committed to unlocking your full potential. Whether you're stepping into the world of technology for the first time or looking to advance your career, we provide top-tier, hands-on courses to build up your career. Let's take our first step towards learning here and explore it.
Today we'll start with the revenue chapters and the configurations. In order to start with the revenue chapter, we need some configurations, like we need to set up a customer in Avashi. This is for you as an end user. You have to set up your customers. You have to set up your payment terms, customer categories, and customer groups. That's what we are going to cover as an end user. And that's also what you do as an implementer. When you do a bulk uploading of data, you use EIBs and allow to upload this data in bulk during your implementation cycle. And we'll see through the UI how we do it as an end user also. To start with, you have to create a customer category. We have to type customer category here. You have to go to that for maintain customer categories. And you will give a name here. Let's say Blinkit Special Customers. We'll just name it like the category of the customer. It can be like IT, manufacturing, service industries, whatever it is. Then after this, you have to do a group also. Maintain customers. Like grouping of customers. You can group certain customers under one head, like it is from a Northeast region, Southwest India, APAC, like you can group them. We'll just say Blinkit, global customers. But you are not using the same customer to group it. This same customer will come under global. No, you can add multiple. No, just now you added one customer. No, I have not added a customer. It's a customer group. What did you do before this customer group? That was a customer category. Customer category. Customer categories and customer groups are two different things. What are the different categories and groups? Very easy. Let me explain to Excel sheet only. That way you'll understand. It's like Rahul, basically like a Saturday and business unit, a kind of yes. See, let me say we have customer A, customer B, customer C, customer D. Now they belong to the same category. Let's say IT. IT. They are our customers from the IT. Their category is, that means of course their category is IT. Clearly. Got it. Now let's talk about group. We have regions. If I'm giving example, it can be anything depending on the business. America, South Asia. Like this. Now I can group all these customers under the regions here like APAC. Got you? got you customer A, B, C, D. They are all grouped under APAC region. Then I have another set of customers who belong to EMV region. Let's say customer EFGH. You only created category and the regions. Now we're going to create a customer. Customer will come later on. Yes? That's good for sure. I understand. Great. Anyone else? Any doubt on this one? Just close it then. Now we have to create payment terms. Now remember, payment terms is something which can be used by both suppliers also and customers. You don't create separate payment terms for supplier and separate payment terms for customers. It's a common one. We go to the task on maintain payment terms. Payment term is nothing but in how many days either the customer will pay or you will pay back to the supplier. Simple thing. We have few things already configured here. Let's go through them first. Explain how it works. For example, and this is a global naming convention we use across different implementations and customers. Netty. What it says is we'll give 10% discount. The due date is 30 days from the invoice date. Whenever we will send the invoice to the customer, from that, the customer has to pay within 30 days. When I say add days here, I'm saying 30 days from the invoice date they have to pay. But I'll give them a 10% discount. If they pay within 10 days or 5 days or whatever it is, I can say 5 days here. If they pay within 5 days, I'll give them 10% discount. Let me explain this again. This is my net 30. From the invoice date within 30 days, they have to make the payment. But I'll give them a 10% discount if they make payment within 5 days from the invoice date. Clear on this one? Everyone. And if you want to make immediate, then it will be 0. I will not. This one will show you if you want to make immediate. For example, let's say somebody would definitely have it's like immediately means 0 days. From the moment you pay, send the invoice. The next year they have to make the payment or the same day. You want to give me grace days, that's fine, but immediately they have to make the payment. As you can see, transaction date, this is due date. 7th letter here. If the transaction happened today or yesterday, like 25th, the due date will also be 25th only. Because we have given 0 days to the customer, the supplier. It can be vice versa supplier also. Some suppliers say no, you have to make the payment next year only. And what is the apply cutoff? Like it's something like they have to remind or something. It's like a cutoff day from this net 30 or net 20, like 10 days, 5 days, the cutoff date. You get a cutoff list. That from this overall, this is a cutoff list or cutoff date. Same thing, nothing unusual here. Very simple process. But to be honest, we do not use this feature, cutoff date, because we are gentle with our customers. We don't give them we don't push them hard for making the payment. And same with the suppliers also. When we pay them, we negotiate with them making the payments, like delaying the payments a little bit more, we can have more revenue with us, cash with us. Any questions on this one? Anina? Or here? Will not hit add here because there's many now. You can pick any one of them. There's no need to add more data here. Will it cancel now? Now we'll talk about the revenue categories. Rahul, it's not like a general term like the US people use for 30 days. It's not like that. No, it's not a general. Now let's talk about the revenue category. Revenue category is nothing. Category from which you get the revenue. It's by either selling tickets, by selling goods, by selling service to the customers. What is the category of that? Let me give an example. A chemical based company would sell the chemicals to the customers. It can be like hospitality industry hotels, hospitals meet anything. They have a category of revenue like home based chemicals, industry based chemicals for some different things, different chemicals. It can be household chemicals meet anything. They have different categories from which they get the revenue, like household sector, which they sell in the market to the retail customers, like people like us, like Harpic, and all those things. Those are the different chemicals you use in our daily life for household activities. Then there are some industry chemicals which they use to clean the hospitals, beds and everything and rub their hands, or the sanitizer, different chemicals. For hospitality industry, like it's clean their hotel's reception, whatever it is. Clear with this? A category from which you get the revenue is called a revenue category. Any questions on revenue category, I'll show you how to create it. But any questions on understanding what is the revenue category? Understood, Kraft? Now how to create a revenue category. First, we'll create the revenue category by typing revenue category here. Then the task called create revenue category. Then we'll give it a name. Name would be for blanket. What will be by selling goods? We'll say blanket. Blanket driven groceries. Blanket groceries. We'll create groceries here. If any text applies like 5%, 10%, like this, we can mention it here, or like say it applies VA, GST. We can do that also. For now, we'll not select anything. But some companies do use VAT here, GST here, which you can define. The next thing is spend category mapping. This will be for intercompany transaction, not for your normal customer transactions. Like when you create a customer invoice, they automatically create a supplier invoice. That was like intercompany. We'll not get into that. Then related work tag. If anything belongs to this revenue category, like one of this work tag, a tag basically which you want to associate with this revenue category, you can mention that also. Otherwise you hit, like if you want to define a cost index. Let's say bid. Anytime I would use this revenue category, this bid will pop up automatically. You will see that incoming examples. I hit here. Now after this, we'll create the cease item. Rahul, it was showing inactive. Firstly, it's like inactive or we have to manually. Not sure. Not sure. The revenue category is inactive. Are you sure? Yes, I like the. Let's check it out. Let's go ahead. Blink it. Let's hit edit. Where is inactive? I have not clicked on that. Oh, sorry. Now I got it. But I'm not on that. Suppose it's not in any more use, you can inactivate that revenue category. Now we'll create the CL item. We have different reports, but we'll go to the task called create CL item. Let's say we link. It sells everything clothes, groceries, and everything. We'll say coconut, or let's say cereals. Pack alternate name mix of cereals. Revenue category link it. Description of it. It has 5 packets of a description. Sales item. How do you identify that? It is a CP mix, something like this. Cereal packet mix. And in grouping, you want to do just like we saw with the customers. If you want to group this in a particular sales item, like cereals or pulses like this, you can group them. You can create a sales item group from here. You can select one if there is already one existing, or you can create your own. You can say group A, group B, something like this. Welcome this part also. Don't worry about this part. First, you have to create the sales item group. Then we have to select. You cannot just enter a group here. That's what I said. It is always to be selected. No, it doesn't have to be. It is not mandatory. The mandatory values are marked with red asterisks. I'm just showing you. It's like with my experience, I'm telling you what is required and what is not required, and what I've seen people using it. Generally, people don't create sales item group. Generally, it's like if you want to go deep into Workday and then say, no, I want to use every feature because I've paid every single penny for it. Yes, you would go in and use every feature. But generally, I have not seen people and customers using this sales item. They just create a sales item attached with the remaining country, and that's all. Any questions on this one? Unit of measure. How you want to unit measure it? Like by each bundle, it will be card. It will be card in course per mile, cubic meter each. Like there are many options to select. We'll select card a box. It's like box here. It will be box of 5. Now this is little irritable. Like it's not. It doesn't add any will the same thing. I'm not sure why I asked this question to work. We just said if you want to give it a second unit of measure also, but it's irrelevant, to be honest. It's irrelevant. If we set up like both the unit of measure, y is like ordering the first one. it will fit the first one. It's not like the option. It will come. Note it will come. Can unit of measure to also. But this it will measure first. By default, it will be box. Now enable bulk quantity pricing. That we'll see in coming example. We have got to cover this chapter. For now, let's go with the basics first. Easy things first, and then we'll go into little complicated items here, like this one, the hand side part here that will cover for the customer contracts. How do you want to recognize the revenue for this sales item? There are three options here. Invoice, accrued, deferred. Based on the invoice, you want to recognize the revenue or accrued. It will be accrued or deferred. We'll say invoice here accrued and deferred. Example, we'll see the customer contract, which is part of the revenue chapter, only our coming activities. Currency. What would be the currency in which you are selling this sales item? We'll see here. Unit price will say 100 here. Let's say the bundle we are selling at is 100 US dollars per bundle. Now this VSO third party evidence. We'll cover that. But not now. We'll go with the basics first. Again, if you want to add anything here, let's say any other work tag. And after this, I will show you how you can add all this work tag with something like this we are creating now. I'll show you that part too. Let me just hit for now. This is done. Let's create one more sales item. This time, let's say biscuits, pack of biscuits. And let's say Parle-G. Parle-G and other biscuits. Revenue category. Again, we can use our blanket. Description, if you want to add any, let's say packet of different biscuits. Alter to obix. And if you want to do that, unit of measure would be again bundle or box, whatever it is. Currency would be USC. We'll press that. Will it now? This is our change. Now I'll show you how we bring this different work tags here with the items here. There are two different tasks. First one, let's go to the first. Maintain related work tags. Let me show you this one first that we are doing now. This is a task report. We call it report, but for me it's like a task only. Here, we have different options here. Like if you create cost center, you can add different work tags here with the cost center. Let me show you one now. If you see, with the cost centers, we have these options now. Cost details project, training, center region, location, salesperson. Let me click on this added work, tag usage, and I can remove. Let's say, let me hit cost details training center. Let me remove the salesperson also. Now, once I hit now, there are a few options here. Let's talk about demos. Default required means if I hit on this one, I'll show you what happens. I'll just get the cost center. It's a default required. It's a mandatory value. You have to give a project, or it can be location also or region also. Then required on transition. Now there's a help text. If you just bring your cursor here on the checkbox, it will show you what it means. When checked, a default value for the work tag type will be required for every instance with related work tag information. Whenever you will create a cost center, you have to give a region. You cannot say, I will not give a region and move it. You have to require on transition. When checked, a value for this work tag type will be required whenever a value on the work type being configured is entered in a transaction. Repeat this line again. When checked, whenever I click on this second checkbox here for this work type, this work type is project. Will be required whenever a value of this work type being configured is entered in a transaction. Anytime you do use this in a transaction, this cost center, a value is required. Let's see that part also. Allowed values enabled. Checking this allows value to be defined for this work type and configuring related work type for a specific instance. Only allowed values will be there for this project. Let's see what happens. This allows inactive values. Suppose you have inactivated a cost center or a revenue category. Then or a project. You have inactivated a project. We are talking about this project design first. If you have inactivated a project, that will not appear in the cost center configuration when you are doing it. Let's see this part. We hit here. And we'll go back to create cost center. First of all, let's see if only 3 values are showing up there or not. Create cost center. Link it. We hit. First of all, as you can see, we have 3 options now. Those other values gone up because we removed them. Now I've marked the default required. This is graded out. I cannot do anything here. Let's see if I can go ahead without using a value at the regional level. We show you. Let's say test. Code would be 522. Subtype would be cost. Visibility. Now let me talk about that day I forgot to tell you. In terms of company and other organizations like cost centers, custom organizations, we have this visibility. Everyone means everyone in the system can view this cost center. Regardless of their access, or they're from different company, different cost center, they will still be able to recognize or find this cost center in the system when they will search it in the search bar. Role assignees means only those people to whom I have assigned some roles in this. Only those people would be able to view this cost center. Role assignees and members means suppose you are part of your employee GMS ULC and I've assigned some roles to you also. These 2 conditions should meet in order to view this company or cost center. Then only you will be able to see this cost center or company. Role assignees of current and superiors. What it means is that you hold some roles or security at the GMS USA company level. But you are also there in the superior role, the top level hierarchy of GMS USA. people in that GMS USA and people in the superior of GMS USA. Both would be able to find this company in the system. Clear with these four options here. 9.99% across implementation you can check. This would be everyone. For all the companies and cost centers. Now let me hit. Let's see if I can go ahead and without selecting a region here. I got an error here. The default work tag is required and must have a value. I need to give a value. Let's say in here, clear with this task. Maintain the related work tag usage. How you bring the work tags on the configuration you create. Yes or no. Great. That another task. Maintain work tag usage. That I'll show you once you start hitting transactions. Let me hit first transaction. And then we'll go through how we put different customer voice and work tags here. Now you see only cost center is there as the primary work tag. I'll show you when we create customer voice. And then additional work tags are this one. How can we add multiple different columns here and different additional work tags? That I'll show you once you start hitting transactions. Let's say now we're done with the revenue category. Now we're done with the sales item. The category and group also the customers. Now it's time to create a customer voice. But before that, we'll see the business process. Because we would be using the default business process here. Let's say VP column customer invoice. There are different BPs here, like for emailing the customer invoice. And different companies their own BPs. We'll look for the default definition. Because you're not creating one that we'll see in the business process sector. There's only one, which is customer group is required. These are the security groups who can create this customer invoices. Let's go ahead and see the task. The task is create customer invoice. Company will use our company and my back. We just miss one confirmation. That is the main thing. We have to create a customer. We have to. That was the main thing. That's a great customer. The customer name, let's say Reliance. Reliance Hotel, something like this. We deliver process to Reliance Hotel, something like this. The status now, the create customer from business entity. This is like if you want to create a customer from a supplier category from financial institutions like your banks. Banks can also be your, and we see can also be your customers, investors, ex-authorities. They can also be your customers. That's one thing. But again, with my experience, I can tell you they keep it blank. I've never seen, like in my 10 implementations, end-to-end and 25 years experience, that somebody uses this customer from business option. No, they never do it. Status is active, but you have two other options. Hold and inactive also. That we will not be able to use it in any transaction. Customer category. It's time for us to use it. Again with the blinket. Now this is important. Let me tell you about this. We can have only one customer category. That's Workday function, and it's logical also. The category of the customer will be one only, one customer category only. But you can use different customer groups here. We can use this one. I can use this one also. You can use n number of customer groups while creating a customer, or after creating the customer also. But you can use only one and only one customer category. Clear on this? Payment terms. You can say net 10 days, net 20 days, immediate, whatever it is. You can say immediately also that we saw there. That immediately the customer has to pay us back. Default text code. If any text applies to it like 2%. Whatever we sell to the customer, we charge 10% on it. You go to any restaurant, you go to any mall, food court, you buy anything. The moment you buy it, they put GST on it. GST mark. You are the customer who is paying the GST to the company, and then they deposit that GST to the government. Correct? Simple example. Any doubt on that thing? No doubt. All clear. Now, will not use any text code, but in your practice you can use it. And in line level also, while creating customer voice, we can use it. Then accept all currencies. What it means? That because we accept all the different things while trading supplier also, you will see this option. People do get confused. What does it mean? Accept all currencies. It means that if customer want to pay us back, or we want to pay them back in different currencies. Let's say the customer is in US only. If all currencies are assumed, but let's say customer wants us to pay like, the customer wants to pay in like euro or INR or in pound or in any other currency. Then do we accept that currency as a payment? We say, we accept all currencies. Whatever currency they want to make payment in, we are fine with that. It means accept all currencies. Or if you want to pay them back in euro, will he accept it? Accept all currencies. No, if they do dealing in like 5, 6 currencies only, let's say USD. You can add multiple currencies here. But by default, we keep it. Accept all currencies. Default currency is USD, even though they accept every currency in the world. But the main currency which is related to transition is USD. Now, customer security segment. Let me tell you, in every company, whosoever deals in the customer side, every company does that. In the revenue team, you will segregate your team members as a control account manager, as an account manager. Like one person will handle 5 customers. It happens if you are from the corporate world. You have seen that. Another person or Venkat will handle 10 customers. Ovashi will handle next 5 customers. They define 5 customers each of 10 customers each or 20 customers each, depending on the person's bandwidth and experience. That we can do here. Customer security segment. That Venkat will not be able to use or view the next 5 customers assigned to Urvashi, or Urvashi will not be able to view another 10 customers assigned to Dee. I will show you this in the security chapter in detail, how to create the customer security segment, but not now. But are you clear with this? Yes. And the customers. Only we are defining a more core security. That Vashi will be able to see only 5 customers. Venkat will be able to see only 10 customers because they handle only those 10 customers. We can define that security segment also, and we will cover it under the security chapter. Now we will hit here. We are not restricting it to any companies here because we want to use it for all the companies we have. If you want to keep it like on board or inactive, just give a selector reason from here and a reason description. For example, I hit inactive. What's the reason for inactivating this customer? Then give a reason, but we'll use it for our transactions. Now you see 6 items here. Because maintain related work, if you go to the task or report, you will see this 6 work tag there. Again, play around with the functionality. Make something mandatory. Here, make something as a lot of work, tech types and everything. We'll not hit anything here because we have seen the functionality. Credits and collections. Now Diane's number. If you Google it, that's a unique number. Tenant spreadsheet number. That's a number given to a customer on their ratings, like how this customer will be for your business. Will they or, in the past, how they have done business with other companies, and do they pay on time? This agency DUDUNS and spreadsheet number. They give a unique number to all the specific companies which are your customers. And then you put that number here for your reference because you have to pay. Take the membership from them to see how that company would be as a customer. Because the chances of getting bad debt, why you would pay for something creating like, why you would do that as a company. It's very important because we are not dealing like 100 rupees or 1000 rupees or 10,000 rupees, lakh, 10 lakh. When we are having customers like corporate level thing or the corporate level, you are dealing like every day with the customers. And every day you're making transitions, maybe millions and billions. Whatever it is, you don't want to play around with the customer or you don't want to deal with the customer who is a defaulter, who's paying. History is not that good with other companies. Other companies may not have good feedback with it. That's why you'll pay an agency to see how they are in paying the other companies. Clear on this one? Any doubt? No. We all give credit to the customer. It doesn't happen to our Mawari local shop also. It happens at the corporate levels also. We give them credit that will give you credit like 10,000 rupees, 50,000 rupees, 60,000 rupees. And what will be the credit limit currency? USD. What will be the limit of credit you can give them? Even like you have good terms relationship, That's an old level customer and you want to give something on 15,000. That's the max credit limit you can give it to them. Credit verification date when you do verify that we have given 15,000 credit to them. That's it. And done and bested number. These are different scores, as you can see. Done and bad. You can Google on it, and there are different composite risk, customer satisfaction survey, and score and everything. You can feel that you will get a report after paying the amount to this agency. And from that report, you can give the details here. Exempt from done. Let me tell you what is a dunning. Dunning is a kind of warning or legal notice to your customers, but they don't pay on the time. First, you send a reminder to all customers, just like we get on a credit card. And as the date reaches to our new due date, all of you may have experienced it. They start sending more and more messages. You don't pay. Your due date is nearby and you have to pay. Please be on time to not to get penalized for not paying on time and all those things same thing. Donning is a kind of process in which you send the letters and warnings or legal notice to the customers. Clear with the dunning part. If I click on this exempt from dunning, it means that I'm saying it's a loyal customer. I don't want to send any dunning letter to this customer. Any questions on dunning part? What is the score? What do you add in score? Again, that's like a rating score you get from the agency. You have to pay for the report and then you put that score here. Credit score for that party. Yes, it's like a commercial credit composite score, customer satisfaction score. Other companies give feedback just like our CIBIL score. In CIBIL score, every company financial institution where we have a counter, we have taken a loan or credit card. They give regular feedback to these agencies. And then they create your profile and score CIBIL score. Same thing, the customer is also. Clear on this screen here values here. Payment terms. Payment term is immediately. Deferred payment term. Like how the customer will pay us back to cash, to check, to credit card, debit card direct deposit, whatever it is. We'll say check here. I check. The customer pays back. Default reference type. Now this is interesting. This is more for you. In India we have Paytm. Everyone knows Paytm. I hope everyone. Similarly in this country, you see Brazil, Switzerland, Denmark, Sweden, Belgium, Estonia, Finland. Very beautiful country. Estonia, by the way. They have their own payment gateways, which is this sponsor for the companies that you know you should do the dealing or make the transactions of the payment in this using this tool. Bolero Bancario is a payment gateway. You can now Google it and type Bolero Bancario. Every time you make the payment or you receive the payment from customer, they will use this from called Bolero Bancario. And that will generate a payment whenever you make the payment. That will give you a reference. ID? Correct. I hope everyone uses a Paytm now. Not sure about the people who are in US, but in India, if you're using Paytm, the moment you scan, you pay, you get a payment reference. ID? Same thing will happen here also. If you select something, then you have to get a reference value also. Clear with this one default reference site. But is it mandatory, Rahul? No, it's not mandatory. Only if you have customers here and it's like mandated by the law, then you have to select this one. That's why I've already introduced this value here. I have a question. Supposing you've not defined your default reference type, but somebody still goes and pays by that method, will it accept? No. Obviously, that's a separate module of Workday through which you receive the payment from customers. We'll talk about that in coming classes. But yes, if you select something here, then you have to give a reference value all the time. If you create a customer invoice, you have to give a reference value. Otherwise, you will only pay by check, nothing else. Now the customer pays by through check. A mandate required again. That's the same thing. If you select direct deposit. Obviously, remember when the banks ask you that you want to pay utility bills on time. Let me automate this. They ask you to sign a mandate, isn't it? You have to sign a mandate. The same thing mandate required, yes. The page got refreshed somehow, but no worries, we have our customer with us. We'll type customer the shortcut and blink it or relax. It was relax. It's an active item because we have not submitted the customer. We were still filling the information. We'll say customer. We have different options here. Added pending customer. And we were at the payment details page here. Always separate payments. What it means, suppose we have to receive 10 payments from the customers. The customers say, no, I'll send you one single check for those 10 payments and I'm done. Boss, we need separate payments, separate checks for all the transactions. Because it helps in reconstitution. In system, you would show. If we show 10 invoices, the customer made one payment only. Now, where you will club it. They give me hundreds of invoices for that customer also in order to do a better reconstitution. We'll always click on this. Always separate payments. Clear on this. Yes. We'll add this set of the bank account. This is the customer bank account. Not our bank account. This is not our bank account. I'll show you how to create our bank account because that will need while creating the customer payments and deposits. This is the customer bank account. Why we need a customer bank account? Because we can do a direct debit also. In order to do a direct debit, we need to see what is the bank account of the customer. Only in that account you do that debit. And that's why we'll say account here and we'll say Reliance current account. Now again remember, this is the customer account we are creating. Checking means current. In US, checking means current account. Country is USA or let's say India because it's easy to remember the IFSC code of Indian banks. Code, let's say as GFC 4 times 0435. Bank name is GFC Limited. BC code, now that's printed on the checkbook of every bank. Or you can Google the BC codes. Let's put some dummy account numbers here. Name an account as GFC. Reliance Hotels Limited. That's the customer name. Bank instruction, this bank does not process payments on weekend. The address if you want to add any. Requires pre-not is a two-way method to secure your payments. The bank sends in OTP and all those things. Remember that part. This is bank sending OTP to process the payment. Same thing. Requires pre-not to check if a payment can be processed. This would be clicked on. And remember, this is when you submit a high dollar or high value check to the bank that I'm making payment to someone through this check account. Then bank calls you also that we have received this check. Have you submitted this? Check yourself. As I show you want to process this payment. Has anyone experienced that? If not, that's a mandatory thing of pre, not by RBI. And this is like customer credit card profile. We can add the customer credit card details here. And I'm going to lockbox details. Lockbox is nothing where we deposit in every bank, every ATM machine. These days you find the machine to deposit the check. Correct. The same thing in the US. It's called lockbox. In India, we just go to a machine and deposit checks. But clear till here? Any doubt? I think default text code applies. Let's say 4% applies every time I use this customer. Then that 4% will appear on the transaction itself. Then text ID. Because this is a customer, they would have text ID also. Because you have to deposit the GST collected from this customer to the government. Then you have to say this is the customer text ID against which you have received this text amount and that we want to deposit. You will say and employee ID number and just add any text ID, and this is the primary text ID also. If I want to add some notes, this is our loyal customer. This is our loyal customer. And next meeting with them. On or. And then you can put a follow-up date also. Or if they are not processing the payments, you can say next follow-up date is 5th of December or 5th of January, 5th of February. This is just a note adding more information about the customer. Attachment. If you have signed some documentation or agreement, you can upload that attachment here. Contact information. That's very important. Let's add their address here. Cross 10th Avenue, City, New York, State, New York, postal code 041, and the county. You can add that unit. This is our primary address. It would be used for billing and MME to shipping. And mailing also. Other businesses also. Street address also. MME too. And there is an error. I will fix it. It's most only about I believe it's about the text postal code only. We don't need to use it. Something is there which we have added. I'm not sure what we will see. Let's say Reliance. Add email. This is their primary email address. Billing MME to shipping will be used for procurement. Also, all not required for the documents for supplier. An instant messenger. IDs they have. Web address. Website address they have. We can add that too. Now what else? We'll see what era they are talking to. Connection map. We'll talk about this tomorrow. Because now let's talk about the basic things. Assign rows. You can assign collection manager to journal. And now let me submit and we'll come to know what's wrong here. This our customer is active now. This is the customer ID. These are all the details. And we are good to start with the transactions tomorrow. Customer ID is created by the Workday itself. That's. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel. For more information, contact us sales@uptalk.com.